Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to come and speak to you today about Toronto Children's Services. My name is Maricar Pollinson, and I have worked as a caseworker for Toronto Children's Services for almost 16 years in the Childcare Fee Subsidy Office. So, as a caseworker with Children's Services, I'm responsible for assessing new applicants' eligibility for childcare fee subsidy and for supporting families to plan and arrange childcare. I also provide support to families and respond to any questions or concerns they may have regarding their fee subsidy or provision of childcare. I also support applicants in the shelters with their childcare needs, and I work closely with childcare operators and provide information about policies and our procedures affecting eligibility and fees for applicants in care. And lastly, I also appeal and advocate on clients' behalf for childcare. So, about children's services, our mission statement is we're committed to children, supportive of families, and building community capacity. Children's Services manages Toronto's childcare system. In partnership with the community, Children's Services promotes equitable access to high quality care for children and support for families and caregivers. Children's services are locally planned, managed, and delivered in ways that promote early learning and development, respond to families' needs and choices, and respect the diversity of Toronto's many communities. An integrated approach to providing services to children ensures public value and benefit to all. So the childcare services we provide are divided into four different categories. There's family resource centers, special needs resourcing, 50 childcare centers, and fee subsidies. So family support programs are neighborhood meeting places for parents and caregivers and their young children. They offer a friendly environment for children to play, learn, and make new friends while providing opportunities for parents and caregivers to meet and develop social networks. These programs provide a range of services and resources that help strengthen parenting skills, support parent education, and foster healthy child development. The services vary from program to program and may include parent-child drop-in, mom and tot programs, play groups, toy, equipment, and book lending, information and referrals to other resources, parent education workshops, parent caregiver relief, and family literacy or numeracy. So every licensed childcare program in the City of Toronto has an assigned special needs resource person. These professionals provide the consistent support needed so that every child can take part in the childcare program of his or family's choice. These supports include regular visits to programs, early identification and intervention, individual consultation and adaptations, staff, provider, and parent training, environmental assessments, service coordination and referrals, and enhanced staffing, intensive resource support when needed. So Toronto Early Learning and Childcare Services are centers that are operated directly by the City of Toronto. They offer quality early learning and childcare for children from infant to 12 years of age at over 50 sites across Toronto. They also operate a licensed home childcare agency that provides childcare in a home setting. Childcare fee subsidy is financial assistance provided by the City of Toronto to help eligible families with the cost of licensed childcare. When newcomer parents first arrive in Toronto, finding childcare is often their first step to securing employment, improving their English, or upgrading their qualifications. So navigating childcare options, costs, and subsidies in the city is not easy for most residents. It can be even more difficult for newcomer parents. Language barriers, eligibility criteria, and limited childcare spaces prevent some newcomers from quickly being able to access services. Childcare in the City of Toronto is available in over 900 licensed childcare centers and through 19 licensed home childcare agencies, working with over 2,000 approved home care providers. Children served by licensed childcare range in age from infant to school age. Toronto Children's Services has a childcare locator on their website to make finding the location of centers in your neighborhood and the age groups the centers serve much easier. It also informs parents of the quality ratings for licensed childcare programs in Toronto. So a client can search by postal code, address, intersection, or school name to find childcare across the city. So for each childcare program that interests you, you should check to make sure they have a program for your child's age group, that childcare fee subsidy may be available if you need financial assistance. You are aware of the quality rating for the childcare program. It's essential that you phone and visit each childcare program you are interested in to make sure it meets your family's needs. So for applicants who require assistance with the cost of childcare, there are 3 ways for applying for fee subsidy. You can apply online for a fee subsidy at www.toronto.ca/children. You can contact 311 to apply by phone, or you can apply in person in one of our district offices. There's a waiting list for fee subsidy, so it's important that you apply as soon as possible. So we have 4 district offices in Toronto. We have one in the East District, the South District, the North District, and the West District office. Clients can choose which location is most convenient for them. So for families with children up to 12 years old who meet the following criteria can apply for childcare subsidy. A client must live in the City of Toronto, be moving to Toronto, or be an employee of the City of Toronto. A client must be employed, looking for work, in school or a training program, be self-employed, or a family with special need. So this could be child special needs or parent special needs. So each parent and guardian must also submit their most recent child tax benefit statement or notice of assessment from Revenue Canada. A new immigrant or a new resident to Canada or a teen parent may still apply prior to filing their first income tax return. So once you have completed the application process, you will be placed on our first come, first served waiting list based on ward and age equity. Each client will receive a letter confirming they are on the waiting list and assigning each family a household identification number. Wait times to be contacted for a fee subsidy can vary depending on the ward where a resident lives and the age of the children in need of care. Clients will be contacted when their name is coming close to the top of the waiting list. At this time, an in-person assessment will be booked in one of our district offices for clients to meet with a caseworker, verify their documents, be assessed the child care fee, and discuss their child care needs, options, and plan. Once children are placed into care, parents are then required to attend an annual case review. Between these annual reviews, clients may be requested to submit their documents to verify ongoing eligibility and are also responsible for informing their caseworker of any changes as they occur. Toronto Children's Services offers priority admissions to families with extenuating circumstances, such as domestic abuse, clients living in shelters, and children diagnosed with moderate to high autism. Clients with other extenuating circumstances may also wish to appeal to be given priority admission based on their unique set of circumstances. The client or caseworker can initiate this process by writing a letter outlining the situation and the desired outcome the client is seeking. The letter then comes forward to our client liaison consultant, and an appeal is prepared and submitted to the Children's Services Appeal Committee for consideration. The appeal committee decision is then communicated to the client verbally from the district office and followed up with a letter from our general manager of Toronto Children's Services. So this slide is just an overview of what documents we require when you do come in for an assessment at Children's Services. We need verification of your income, such as your child tax benefit or notice of assessment. We need your address verification, identification for all family members, proof of your activity, whether you are employed, we would require 2 payslips or an employment letter. Or if you're in school, we would need a detailed school letter just verifying that you're a full-time student, as well as the start and completion dates of your program. And if your child or yourself have special needs, we would need documentation from a professional, such as a physician or a therapist. So there are many resources that can assist you in navigating the childcare system. We have an application and inquiry office. This office houses a call center of operators who are able to either answer many questions regarding childcare, the application process, and childcare fee subsidies, or provide direction on who can assist. District office supervisors, consultants, and caseworkers also work with a variety of agencies in providing community support. So this can be done through presentations tailored to specific groups, on-site intakes, and participating in open houses and community fairs. We also have a client liaison consultant who is an advocate for parents and a resource person who can assist with getting the childcare answers you need. The client liaison consultant can help you with resolving your concerns, childcare complaints, and appealing decisions about eligibility for childcare subsidy. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them now. Okay. Just one moment. So Sumati is asking if both parents are full-time students, would that be a situation fit to appeal? You don't actually need to appeal because as full-time students, you're eligible for full-time childcare subsidy, or like your eligibility for subsidy. It's all dependent on your income. We assess it based on your line 236 of your notice of assessment, and you may have a fee if your combined family net income is over $20,000. Otherwise, we would incur like the full cost of childcare if your combined income is less than $20,000. And Sumati also asks if there's any way we can know what is our waitlist status and how long can this take. Our application processing and inquiry unit, they're responsible for the waiting list applicants, so you can contact them at 416-392-5437, and they can tell you how long of a wait you have on the waiting list, or if subsidy is available right away for your family. EJ also asked if part-time students can apply for childcare subsidies. Yes, you can. It's dependent on the days and hours that you are in school. So if you're a part-time student and you require care only 2, 3, or even 4 days a week, we could provide subsidy for you as well. So, HL, you said that your daughter is on the waiting list for over a year. We're actually on a placement blitz right now, so I suggest you contact our waiting list unit. We are offering subsidy to infants, toddlers, some preschoolers, as well as school-aged children. Subsidy is available right now, and again, it's dependent on your ward of residence. Okay, so the phone number for the application unit, it's 416-392-5437. So IO says that you're already receiving subsidy starting from May 2016, and your baby is due November 2015. So what would happen with our maternity leave policy, if you are receiving subsidy and you're due in November, we would only keep child care fee subsidy for your older child in care for only 4 weeks until after the birth of your baby. And then when you're ready to return to your full-time employment or school, then we would try to place both children in care on a priority basis. So JD, you stated that your income right now is $60,000. And in 2014, which we would be assessing you on, would be based on your 2014 is $90,000. You may not be eligible for subsidy, but we also do what we call an alternate income assessment. So if your current income has decreased by more than 20% as compared to your notices of assessment from the previous year, then we would take the $60,000 to assess your childcare fees. And ST, you asked if you get subsidy, but there's no vacant place in the childcare center, you don't have to stay, you don't need to find childcare in your ward of residence. Once you're eligible for subsidy, you could access all the childcare centers across the city, whether it's closer to your employment or school or where you live. And if a space becomes available at the desired location, then we could also always transfer from one daycare center to another daycare center. And Sumati, if you're having problems connecting with a person at our kids line at the application unit, you could always visit one of our district offices and we'll be more than happy to assist you with any questions that you might have regarding children's services. And IO, if you don't need care for your child um, until later than May 2016, just contact again our application unit, and you don't have to reapply. You just have to let them know when your expected start date is, like either for school or when you need care for. And ST, we do not provide childcare subsidy for private paid babysitting. It has to be, we only provide subsidy to licensed childcare centers or licensed childcare home agencies. There's a variety of private home care agencies that have a contract with us, and they offer like a babysitting services as well. BL asked, stated that you have no income this year, but your 2014 notice of assessment had an income of $50,000. You still would be eligible for subsidy because there would be like more than a 20% decrease in your income. So we would just base your childcare fee subsidy on your current situation, which is no income. With regards to licensed private babysitters, they have to be registered with us in one of the agencies that we have a contract with. So, like I said, we have like Toronto home childcare agencies. A lot of providers, more than 2,000 providers are registered with them. There's other agencies that we work with, like Family Daycare Services, Daycare Connection, Muppets Private Home, West End Private Home. So like you could get a list of all the private home care agencies that have private babysitters who are licensed. But as I said, we would only subsidize if they do have a contract with us. And Sumati, you asked if you can put my child in a daycare center by paying a full amount but still be on the waiting list for subsidy. Yes, you can. You would just be responsible for paying the full fee of childcare. Your name still stays on the waiting list for subsidy, and when subsidy becomes available, we just convert it from full fee to subsidized childcare. In terms ST2, you said that your ward is overserved. Yet there are certain wards that funding is not available right now. So you would always have to contact the waiting list unit to see if the funding is available at the time. HL, if one you asked if one ward is overserved, how long will it take to get new funding? It's all dependent on the children who are already subsidized at your ward of residence. There's always like children that are withdrawing from childcare subsidy or they're no longer eligible. And once they're withdrawn, then funding would be available then. And BL, in terms of, you should be eligible for subsidy even with $50,000 on your notice of assessment. You could contact the district offices or the application unit, and we could just put you on the waiting list for childcare subsidy. And you asked what happens to my subsidy if I move to another ward within City of Toronto. Um, as long as you're in the City of Toronto, we could transfer your subsidy from one location to another. Once you're already in receipt of subsidy, regardless of you moving from one ward of the City of Toronto, then your subsidy just transfers with you. HL, you're inquiring about childcare funding because your neighbor just got subsidy. Again, it's dependent on the age of the children as well as your ward of residence. Even if you are in the same ward, if you have an infant or a toddler, subsidy is readily available to them right now. So if you have an older child, like I said, it all depends on the age of the children. And ST, there's no separate phone number to contact for the waiting list time. You would just have to contact our waiting list unit because they're responsible for handling all clients who are on the waiting list for childcare subsidy. So again, the phone number, it's 416-392-5437. And EJ, you asked if a student can apply from abroad before moving to Toronto. Yes, the student can apply if you have an address to provide when you do move to Toronto. For toddlers, it's not difficult to find subsidy for them. I think we are placing infants and toddlers in all wards, but I may have to check up on that. With children who are going to school, I think for full day kindergarten or school age, we do offer subsidy for before and after school care. We have some centers that are located in the school themselves. So there may be funding available for your child right now. And IO, you're inquiring if you could use only childcares in your ward for infant or toddler. You could use childcare in any wards in Toronto. You're not confined to just finding care in your ward of residence. That's right, EJ. Your ward of residence, it defines whether funding is available for your ward. So if the funding is available for your ward, you could access any daycare centers anywhere in the city of Toronto. HL, with regards to Markham, I don't know if it's the city or city of Markham, they have their own children's services. So if they're in Markham, they wouldn't be eligible for subsidy in Toronto. Sumati, the closest district office is downtown at Metro Hall at King and John Street. It's a South District office. You're welcome.